peeps, we are on our first cruise ever. And so for this first cruise, we are on the Celebrity Beyond. You can see the pool area behind me. And so we've never done a cruise video before. We're actually on day 3 already of this cruise because those first 2 days I just kind of needed to understand the cruise, lingo and what to do and that kind of thing. So I took a few days to learn, and now that we're on day 3, I figured we'd just kind of show you around the ship, show you the rooms, what our room looks like. We have a concierge level room with an infinite veranda. I'll show you what that looks like. And just kind of give you, a tour of the decks and what options are available for you should you happen to book a cruise on the Celebrity Beyond. Now for us, we booked a 6-night Western Caribbean cruise. It stops at Coco Cay, which is kind of like a private island area for Celebrity and Royal Caribbean cruises. We will also be stopping in the Bahamas and the Grand Cayman. So that's the cruise that we took. And we are here late June, It's about June 24th, I believe, right now. There it is, the Celebrity Beyond. Also, this ship is a President's Cruise, which means the President of Royal Caribbean and Celebrity will be on the cruise with us. I don't know what that means, but they're really hyping it up. There's like signs everywhere that say President's Cruise. Cool little photo op as you enter the door. I don't know. I think we just keep going. Yeah. All right. Here's our room. Okay. Why don't you head on in? We gotta drop our stuff off. It looks pretty much done. What is that? Potato chips. Let's take a look. Oh, so this is the infinite veranda right here.
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Here's the room.
This is crazy. This is so nice.
Yeah, this is really nice. I think this is a closet of some kind.
I'm gonna be able to deal with this for a week.
Yeah, I think we can handle this. Oh, it's a big closet.
Ooh, look at this.
One. Yeah, the charging station.
Right on.
Michael is our stateroom attendant. More storage. I think more storage. There's storage like everywhere in this room.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. 28 hangers.
Please step it up. Okay. Yeah, there is a step. Okay. Wow. This is a nice little shower room.
Wow.
Bathroom.
You're not kidding about the storage. Is that open?
Oh, yeah. Everything opens.
Ice bucket. Wow.
Yeah.
Put your bag down.
And I gotta put my bag down.
Oh, give me your bag.
Hey, there's me. That's okay.
Take your bag.
All right, shower. It's gonna be a little snug.
I am not mad. Yeah. Oh, a shower cap. I think that's a good shower.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one.
We just boarded and we're gonna take a look around the boat. This is the theater. Whoa. That's pretty awesome. Seats look comfortable.
Very.
Even here in the nosebleeds.
Use the drink holders.
Ah, drink holders. Smart.
Just do that first.
Yeah, sure. All right, we are on the boat. World-class bar. We're like mid-shift, so I don't know. I guess we could take either one. All right, so where are we going? Yeah. Okay, first stop. While people are still boarding, the bar is already full. So we have to sit on the side here to get some martinis. I know you can't tell, but it's kind of purpley. I got a lavender martini. I don't know what Jen got. A rosé martini. So we are now on deck 16, which is, I think, one of the highest decks. I think there's only 17 decks, and only if you're in the retreat. I think if you are just kind of a normal person like us, deck 16 is the highest you can go. But on deck 16, they've got these cool whirlpools that overlook deck 14, the main pool. You can see deck 14, you know, that's kind of the more crowded pool. There's no one up here in the whirlpool. So they've got one here and they've got one there. They kind of look like wine glasses that overlook the main pool. It's pretty cool. Deck 16 also has the magic carpet, which is kind of like a bar experience. They do offer dinner there, I think, on one of the nights, but it's reservation only, and apparently it's hard to get reservations. But you can go out there pretty much anytime, grab a beverage, have a seat, watch the sunrise and sunset, that kind of thing. Deck 16 also has this track, which goes, you know, all the way down, and actually it kind of goes to deck 15, and it wraps around all the way back. And so that track, apparently 3 laps on that track is 1 kilometer, 5 laps is a mile. So if you're trying to just get some walking in while you're on the cruise, they've got these tracks. And it's 2 lanes. This one's for running, this one's for walking. Right across from the whirlpool and down this walking path, they've got the mast bar. Now the cool thing about the mast bar, a couple things. One, there's a TV back there. So if you want to watch something on TV, they've got something going on. They were showing like the Stanley Cup Finals on this cruise up here, but it's also kind of a smaller bar tucked away here, so not a lot of people come to the mast bar. So it's just kind of a nice tucked in bar. Some of the other bars get a little crazier. Deck 16 is also one of the smaller floors. It's just kind of got areas for sitting. It's got the whirlpool that I showed you, the walking track. And you can just kind of go across. It's empty in the middle because you can just kind of go around the sides on the walking track or to the magic carpet. Unlike some of the other floors, like 15 and below, usually have something in the middle. So one thing I forgot to mention about this particular cruise is that this is the President's Cruise, which we didn't know that when we booked it, but it's kind of a cool feature in that the president of celebrity is on the cruise with us. So she's been walking around, she's been meeting people. There's also like special events and special gifts if you're on a president's cruise. So we're about to step out onto the magic carpet, and this is what it looks like. It's got some nice seating. It's over the edge of the boat, so you can kind of see where we are here. Well, like I said, they do dinner here one night. I don't know if it's on this floor, because there's actually one on the 5th floor as well. But this one looks like it's mostly just a bar. So we've actually come out here and had a drink out here on this nice view deck. So like I said, it's day 3 of our cruise, so it's a little bit busier because this is an at-sea day. So the ship doesn't dock anywhere, and we're just all day at sea. People kind of use all the amenities. And so now we are on deck 15, where the rooftop garden is. They've also got these cool infinity pools that overlook the end of the boat. We were in earlier, very cool. Also on deck 15 is up here. They've got this rooftop garden, like I just mentioned. But sometimes they'll show like movies or sporting events on the big screen up here. It looks like they're all set up for some type of President's Cruise event up here right now. I mean, this is cool. Yeah, there's something going on here. So I was wondering, I asked what's going on up here, and I didn't even notice. It's a pickleball tournament up here. And I guess if you play in it, you get special Tropichico hard seltzer, gear. Maybe you get some special President's Cruise memorabilia. But yeah, so it's all set up for pickleball up here. And right across from that is the Rooftop Garden Grill, which is like a really good steak and burger and barbecue type restaurant. We ate there yesterday. It is actually not included in the cost of your cruise. That's actually an upcharge restaurant. But we ate there last night. I had a really good burger. Jen had, I think, a shrimp kebab. But it's all like grilled type foods, and everything's really tasty there. And behind this Rooftop Garden Grill is the Sunset Bar, which is really only a sunset bar if the ship is facing in the right direction. But regardless, you get some great views of the back of the boat from the Sunset Bar. When we were here the other night, they had a live musician playing. They had a guitarist playing and singing. It's a really nice bar. And let's take a look and see what the back looks like. Yeah, see? Here is the view from the back of the boat here at the Sunset Bar. What's pretty cool is there's another boat out there. I don't know what kind of boat it is, but there it is, all the way in the distance. Next up is deck 14. So we kind of started at the top and made our way down. Looks like they're getting set up for a special event, but this is the main pool deck. There's all sorts of seating and stuff along the side of the pool, like over there. And look out into the ocean. And one of the best parts of deck 14 is the mast grill, where almost all day you can get burgers and hot dogs fresh made right here. Like, want a pre-dinner hot dog? Come to Mast Grill. So like I said, deck 14, main deck. Here is the bar by the main deck. You can tell they've got all sorts of cool seating, private seating areas. So there are the whirlpools that we were showing you on deck 16. And so, like I said, it overlooks deck 14, which is this great big pool area. This is like literally the main pool. So you can see it's kind of got the most people out here. They've got like a cool party vibe. There's the magic carpet on deck 15. And you can barely see, it says President's Cruise right there. And right past the Mast Grill is the Solarium, which is an indoor pool. It is 21 and up only. Yeah, so you can see it's an adult only facility. Oh, 16 and older. Okay. So, and it's just kind of an indoor area. You can see it's kind of an older crowd. They've got a whirlpool. They've got a nice pool in the middle, but it's indoors, so it's not as cold as some of the pools outside. And it's just kind of like a nice seating area. Also, a great place to have a pina colada, not get too overheated, and enjoy the beautiful views. A little later at the Mast Grill, here's what they offer here, and it's like 12 to 10 every day. Burgers, hot dogs, turkey burgers, and vegetarian burgers. And they're making them back there. They have all sorts of toppings, mushrooms, sauerkraut, bacon, and onion. And they usually have french fries. They're just getting set up, but they have all the toppings for you as well. Also on deck 14 with the main pool is also the main dining area, the Ocean View Cafe, which is their main buffet area, where they request that you wash your hands before you go to the buffet, which I think is pretty cool. And as soon as you enter Scoops, which is like their all-day ice cream place, they have soft serve ice cream as well as like some scoopable ice cream. That's cool. Oh, and some toppings. And the buffet has a ton of different options. You've got the bakery with your sweets. And like I said, we're literally here at lunchtime. But there's a cheese station in the middle. There's a rotating area over there with local favorites and chefs and daily favorites. Latin American cuisine, Indian cuisine, really a ton of different stuff. There's sandwiches and fruits. And the carvery over here with beef, ham, and chicken. On deck 5, they've got, it's kind of like the Grand Plaza. You can see down from deck 5 to deck 4 all the way to deck 3. That's the Martini Bar that we hit on day 1. Fine Cut Steakhouse, which is another upcharge restaurant. Raw on 5, which is another dining option. It's not one of the main dining rooms. And I think it's mostly like raw bar stuff. Deck 5 also includes the world-class bar, which supposedly makes really good cocktails. We haven't had a chance to hit it yet, but we definitely will before the end of the trip. I think they've got things like old fashions and, you know, whiskey drinks, that kind of stuff. Now, we also got to do a mixology class at the World Class Bar. It was an upcharge experience, but we got to make 3 drinks, a Bahama Mama, a Dark and Stormy, and a Mudslide, and drink them, included in the cost of the class itself. But it was a fun experience, about 45 minutes to an hour. You learn from the bartenders at that bar itself how to make the drinks. You make them. It was a nice, fun experience and something cool to do on sea days when you're on the boat all day. Deck 5 also features the art gallery. Looks like they're swapping out the art right now. Oh, Brave. A Little Mermaid. Okay, they had some Disney themed art over there. Pretty cool. There's Mickey. And Deck 5 is also balcony seating for the theater. It's cool. One of our favorite areas of Deck 5 was at the rear of the ship with Eden. And to get to Eden, you had to walk through this weird, kind of cool art exhibit and artistic hallway that you see here. It had mirrors all around it and these weird silver globes. But as you exited it, you came across this lush green hallway that had this chocolate stand that we never saw open, but looked like it had some type of luxury chocolate. They had Blue, which was a restaurant specifically for certain guests of the cruise, and then after that was Eden itself. So Eden was just really kind of a breathtaking area and one of the hidden gems of the ship, in that it really had multiple purposes. In Eden, they have all this cool seating. Everything is lush and green and themed, but it also has a bar. It had a breakfast area that you can see here. They served breakfast. We had breakfast there one morning. Different from the normal buffet breakfast, different from the other breakfast. It had a very kind of like Starbucks kind of vibe. They had the bar, which was open all day, and they had an upcharge restaurant that we never actually took advantage of. But certainly the views you can see here all along the back of the boat. A lot of that seating was just open seating for the bar. You didn't have to have a reservation at the restaurant. The restaurant was more over this balcony here. You can see it down there over the balcony. But everything else was basically just bar seating. You go have a drink. You can look out over the edge of the boat, at the rear of the boat. Just really cool views, really kind of a serene setting, and really one of our favorite areas to spend time on the ship. Heck, even some of the outdoor seating was cool. They had this cool like art outside Eden. Obviously apples were kind of a big theme, but they just had all this kind of cool loungy seating at the rear of the boat. And they had this cool President's Cruise photo opportunity. On deck 4 of the Celebrity Beyond, they had a whole bunch of shops, including that's where they had the resort wear, so all your Celebrity Beyond branded goods. There was also the club. Now, the club was this giant 2-story club, for lack of a better way of saying it. It contained a bar, but this is also where they had a lot of social gathering type stuff. Trivia nights, game nights. They had some shows in here, but you can see it was huge, and they had like nice couches and seating for all of those events. Deck 4 also had Le Voyage, which was the fancy chef restaurant. We never took advantage of that, or Le Grand Bistro, which was more of the French bistro. They had baguettes, croissants, those types of items. We never actually got to venture to any of those restaurants because there were so many options available. But we did get to check out Craft Social, which was the sports bar on the boat. One of the cool things about Craft Social Bar is that they actually show certain sporting events here. So they are limited to like ESPN 1 and 2 and like the satellite sports station that they have on the boat. So if it's on like regular in ABC or NBC, you may not watch it, or Fox, or anything like that. They have limited sports, but when they do have something, a major event, it'll show it in the guide, whether it's in the app or in like the printed guide that they hand out every night. And so they'll advertise like, hey, we're showing certain sporting goods. And so while we're here, there's like the World Cup of Cricket is playing. And so they're showing it while we're here on the cruise. Heading to the rear of the ship, past the casino, were Cosmopolitan and Cypress, two of the main dining establishments. Cosmopolitan, a bit more American-themed wine restaurant. Cypress, more Mediterranean-themed in nature. A lot of them shared the same dishes, but had distinct dishes to the restaurant as well. And as you make your way down the stairs to deck 3 from the rear of the ship, 2 more main dining restaurants, including the Italian-themed restaurant Tuscan, as well as the French-themed restaurant Normandy. Like I just mentioned, a lot of shared dishes between the 4 main dining establishments, but some distinct French dishes at Normandy or Italian restaurants at Tuscan. And also on deck 3 was the main bar for the giant martini bar in the center of the ship. You could see they had a stage set up there for bands. This was a great central area for the boat. On cruise days, they had music bingo, live music, some cool shows of bartenders doing stuff. It was a great central area for the boat. So the Celebrity Beyond President's Cruise for 2024 had 3 ports, including the Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is an island owned by Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, kind of a private island with multiple pools, and they had a water park that we didn't actually take advantage of because it was an upcharge, and there was plenty to do because there were beautiful beaches, cool pools, swim up bars, kid areas. The area you see right here was free, well, I shouldn't say free, included in the cost of your cruise and accessible to kids, so you didn't have to go into the water park unless you wanted some of the more extreme water slide type rides. Coco Cay was definitely one of my favorite ports that we stopped at. I loved that it had a variety of bars and themes throughout the area, and some cool food that you can't get on the boat, including something that I found out about on YouTube, the Secret Sandwich, which was a chicken sandwich with mozzarella sticks, marinara sauce that you could get in the snack shack on Chill Island. They also had some shopping available, including official celebrity stuff, as well as some Bahamas themed goods on the island. Our second stop was actually a tender, so we had to take a tender boat from the Celebrity Beyond ship to the island, and that was in the Grand Caymans. So this was kind of a different experience in that you don't just like get off the boat onto, the port. You actually have to board one of these tenders, which was, a lot more rocky than being on the cruise ship, but it was really cool because we got this unique view as we drove away from the cruise ship, and I really appreciated kind of seeing the ship in all its glory from the view of a much smaller boat. Now, Grand Cayman, very different experience than Coco Cay. Coco Cay is much more of an extension of the cruise ship. Your Wi-Fi still works, your ship pass, your sea pass still works.
Hello.
In Grand Cayman, they basically drop you off and you know, kind of venture around yourself. You look for shops, you take, taxis to beaches. We actually stopped at a bar and grabbed a beer because we actually had an excursion to do a glass bottom boat cruise. We left one boat and went to another. But this was one of the highlights of the ship. It was a glass bottom boat, an Oculus glass bottom boat, and we got to go over multiple shipwrecks. We got to see cool fish and coral reefs, and really just a memorable experience and a key highlight of the entire cruise experience for us. And our third stop was back in the Bahamas, just like Coco Cay is a Bahamas island, at Bimini, which is not a private island, but we landed, you can see we walked right off the boat onto the port, and they had a special President's Cruise experience at Resort World in Bimini, and it was such a cool experience. They had rented out kind of this private resort area. We took a tram to the resort area direct from the dock, and they walk up, they greet you with Bahama Mamas. There were private pools, so there were multiple pools that you can see here. Just beautiful weather. I think it was like in the high 80s that day, so hot, but great for hanging out in the pool. They had a special menu. They had like open fire grill and cool seating area to enjoy the food that they had on the island that day. Just really good food. They had burgers, hot dogs, steaks, all sorts of stuff. Then they also had one of the most amazing beaches I've ever seen in my life. I know you can't really see it here, but the water was so crystal clear. The sands were gorgeous. And yeah, of course, it's crowded, but when you're in those beautiful waters in the Bahamas, you really don't care because it is just such a nice, relaxing experience. So obviously one of the key questions we get when we talk about the cruise is how much did it cost us? So let's go ahead and do a little bit of cruise math. Now, we bought the cruise as a package directly from the Celebrity Cruises website, and we bought it the week of Thanksgiving. So there was a sale going on. So we got a package including the cruise fare, beverage, Wi-Fi, and prepaid gratuities for $4,444. Now, the beverage and the Wi-Fi in that package were the basic packages for those, and we wanted to upgrade to the premium options. So we upgraded to the premium drink package, which includes drinks up to $17, and that was $168 for the upgrade itself. And we also upgraded to premium Wi-Fi, which included other VIP perks like reserved seating at the shows, first access to ports, first access on and off the boat, that kind of thing, and that was an additional $432. Yes, Wi-Fi is definitely a premium on a cruise ship. We mentioned a little earlier that we did a mixology class on the cruise as well. The mixology class was $51 per person, so a total of $102. Now, obviously, everything other than the cruise fare is some type of luxury item or upgrade or addition on top of the cost of the cruise. And so a lot of this stuff is optional, including dinners. So obviously you get dinners included with the cost of your cruise at all of the main dining restaurants and the buffet. But there are upcharge restaurants that we took advantage of, such as the Fine Cut Steakhouse, the Rooftop Garden Grill, and Craft Social. And you could see the prices here for each one of those, and that's for a party of two. So divide that by half for a party of one. We did one real excursion off the boat, and that was in Grand Cayman, and that was an Oculus glass bottom boat cruise that we showed earlier. Totally worth the money, great experience. That was $158 for our party of two. And finally, estimated tips and miscellaneous charges for any drinks that were above $17, or tips that we wanted to give to bartenders for exceptional service, or a tip that we gave to our room attendant at the end of the cruise, totaled up to around $200 total, and those were just like cash tips or extra charges that we paid throughout the course of the cruise. So the total cruise amount was $5,730, and as you can see, anything above the cruise fare was optional, premium items, things like that that we did to really take advantage of this being our first cruise. Optional stuff, but everything that we did, we appreciated and really enjoyed all of these other experiences that we paid for on top of the cruise fare itself. So definitely not a cheap experience. Long story short, did we enjoy the cruise experience? And I would have to say, absolutely. The Celebrity Beyond is a beautiful ship. There's so much to do. We didn't even get a chance to hit all the restaurants, and we hit some of those upcharge restaurants. There's trivia, there's bars, there's, breakfast nooks and all sorts of things on the boat that you can do that, even in one cruise, and we had a 6-night cruise, there was no way to hit it all. Speaking of dining, the best meal for us on the cruise was definitely the Fine Cut Steakhouse. It was an upcharge, but it was definitely worth it. The food was incredible. We had some great appetizers like this bread thing that they served us, as well as just great steak, great grilled type foods. Really enjoyed our meal there. I'm glad we took advantage of some of those other restaurant options, and not all of them are upcharges, because the buffet was always a madhouse, like you can see here. Now, we tended to hit it when we were hungry, breakfast, lunchtime, so we didn't try to hit it in the off hours, which may have helped, but when we did, it was always kind of a crowded experience. They never ran out of food. We had no problem getting food, but it was just kind of a lot of people in one space at one time. Because of those crowds, we tended to spend more time in like the side pools, like the whirlpools that I was just pointing at, than in the main pool. The main pool, always pretty crowded, as you can imagine. Those main areas, the buffet, the main martini bar, the main pool, always had crowds, so we tended to yield towards those side pools, or the side restaurants, or the solarium pool, because they were just much less crowded. Now, as to the room itself, there was actually a ton of space in the room. For 2 people, with clothes and all that stuff, we did run out of storage space, but that I think we just overpacked with it being our first cruise. The room itself was nice and spacious overall. The infinite veranda had beautiful views, but I will say, just like I've heard on other YouTube videos, the room can tend to get hot with that infinite veranda. We almost never opened up the window because that would turn off the AC, but even without the window being open, you could feel the heat radiating off of the infinite veranda, and that definitely affected the temperature in the room, regardless of what temperature we set the AC at. And the infinite veranda did give you an extra few feet of real estate on your space, and you could close it off. Now, again, it would still be warm, but, if you closed off, you could see the sliding glass doors here. It actually didn't leave a lot of room between that side of the bed and that door. So you had maybe a foot of room if you're sleeping on that side of the bed to kind of get out of the bed and walk around. But again, if you wanted to conserve some AC, keep the room a little cooler, you could close it. They did have a way to close the infinite veranda screen. Now, you do that, you lose the views, which is a bit of a bummer, but you do tend to have a little bit of a cooler room by closing it using this option. Overall, cruising was so new to us that it did take us a few days to get our bearings about us and understand how to use the app and how to coordinate plans and things like that. After about a day or two, once we got the hang of it, we really took to the experience. If you are a theme park lover like I am, if you're watching this channel, you may have seen other theme park videos that we go to. The experience, at least this specific experience, felt to me kind of like I was going to a theme park, in that there's a lot of coordination. You have to make your dining reservations, you have to know what time shows start, it's all done via an app. So it was kind of like going to a Disney or Universal theme park experience in that way for me. The Celebrity Beyond President's Cruise 2024 experience was definitely a cool experience for us. We enjoyed it, we learned so much about cruising, and honestly, it kind of opened up the world of cruising to us with just such a beautiful boat, cool excursions, and cool ports. And I think we would do a cruise again, and I think that's ultimately the main question of whether we liked it or not. What about you all? Have you been on a cruise before? Would you do a cruise again? Have you actually sailed on the Celebrity Beyond? Leave us a comment down below, let us know your thoughts or any questions you may have about the cruise experience. We'll be happy to answer them. While you're down there, if you want to see more cool content, hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you know when we release it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.